Hello and welcome to the Screencast. Today I'm going to solve some of the problems you might see on tomorrow's quiz on multiplying polynomials using long division and synthetic division. So let's get to it. Alright, in the first problem I'm asked to multiply two polynomials together. So I do that by writing one of them underneath the other one. And I'm going to start with the 2 on the far right. And when I do that, I'm going to multiply 2 times negative 5, it's going to give me negative 10. Then 2 times 4x is 8x. 2 times 5x squared is 10x squared. And before I forget, the first word in the secret sentence tonight is how. Alright, now I'm going to move on to the 2x in the middle, and I'm going to multiply each of the terms above it by itself. So 2x times negative 5 gives me negative 10x. 2x times 4x is 8x squared. 2x times 5x squared is 10x cubed. And then lastly I'm going to multiply by the 2x squared on the left each term. So 2x squared times negative 5 is negative 10x squared. 2x times 4x is 8x cubed. 2x squared times 5x squared is 10x to the 4th. And now I'm ready to add downward. So I get negative 10, here I get negative 2x, here I get 8x squared, here I get 18x cubed, and lastly I get 10x to the 4th. And I am all finished. Now you notice that when I was doing the multiplication, I was careful about writing like terms underneath each other in columns, so that made combining them at the end very easy. Second word, secret word tonight in the secret sentence is now. Okay, here I have a long division problem, so I'm going to write the dividend underneath the division symbol. And I'm going to divide by n minus 1. So I write that outside. So to start with, I'm looking at the n to the 5th and n to the 4th. And I'm saying, what do I multiply n by to get n to the 5th? Well, that would be n to the 4th. So when I multiply, however, I'm going to multiply both terms by n to the 4th. Then I'm going to subtract, and subtracting means reversing both signs. Those are going to drop out, and I'm going to get 10n to the 4th. And now I bring down the next term, the minus n cubed. Alright, now I'm looking at the 10n to the 4th and n, and I decide that I need to multiply n by 10n cubed to get a 10n to the 4th. So I do that, but I multiply both terms in the divisor, and I get this. Then I'm going to subtract, meaning I reverse both signs, and that gives me n cubed. And then I bring down the 8n squared. Now I'm looking at the 8n squared and the n cubed. And I say, oh, I need to multiply n by n squared to get n cubed. So I do that, and I multiply both terms squared. And I reverse both signs. I add. That gives me 9n squared. Then I bring down the minus 5n. Alright, now I'm looking at the n and the 9n squared. And I need to multiply by 9n. So I do that. And what does that give me on the right? It gives me minus 9n. I reverse both signs, and I add, I get 4n. And then lastly, I bring down the negative 4. Now I'm looking at the 4n and the n minus 1, and I realize I'm going to have to multiply by n cubed, no, not n cubed, by 4. What am I thinking? Don't know where I came up with that one. So I multiply, and it turns out I get 4n minus 4. Then I reverse both signs and add downward, and that's my remainder. So I have a remainder of 0. So that means I found my quotient, and that's what it is. The next secret word in the secret sentence is brown. Alright, and lastly I'm going to do a problem that uses synthetic division to divide. So what I need to do is write the synthetic division symbol, and this 8 gets put into the divisor position, except I need to reverse its sign, and I'm going to write the coefficients of the dividend across the top. So I always start synthetic division by bringing down the first term, which is an 8. So then I take the 8 and I multiply it by negative 8, and I get negative 64. Then I add downward. That gives me a, let's see, another 8. And I multiply again. It gives me another negative 64. And I add downward. It gives me negative 1. And I multiply again. And I add downward. I multiply again. Add downward. And multiply again. And lastly, add downward. That means I have a remainder of 0. The negative 7 is the constant. The negative 5 is the coefficient of the b term. The negative 1 is the coefficient of the b squared term. The 8 is the coefficient of b cubed, and the other last 8 is the coefficient of the b to the 4th. So that means my quotient then is 8b to the 4th plus 8b cubed minus b squared minus 5b minus 7, with a remainder of 0. And the last secret word in the secret sentence is the word cow. Alright, hope you found this screencast helpful, and get a good night's sleep, and we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers!